and we've got a different wind. The wind is going that way and the bait is that way, so we've got a much better wind, although it's swirling and it's light, variable. We had rain, and then it kind of, a few peaks of blue sky came through, and now it's pretty much overcast again. But this branch that you see right here now, it was the one that was hanging out over me and got twigs in my string of the cam, so I bent it around and wedged it back in here so it's out of the way now, so I don't have to worry about that happening again. I really wasn't going to come back here tonight. I was going to just let it rest for a night, but we got a lot of baits just with sows and cubs and yearlings on it, and the two guys that just came in from southern Wisconsin last night, they picked the stands with the better bears on them, and so that left me with the choice of a few of the stands that just have yearlings or sows with cubs and nothing really to get excited about. So I just decided to come back here and give it a whirl again. I checked the camera, and that big sow came back in 15 minutes after I left. She just moved off when I was halfway down the ladder of this ladder stand, so she wasn't very bad spooked, and then she just turned and came right back in 15 minutes later. So then she came back in at 3 o'clock in the morning, and so she's due this evening again. Just really a beautiful day to be in the woods, and we got several bears on this bait, so I guess we got an opportunity. The one thing that's different with it's been so windy the last couple days that I haven't worried about mosquitoes or gnats or black flies or anything, and man, that's different today, because I lit the thermocell just as soon as I got in the stand, and it's just now starting to take effect, because man, the flies are just buzzing all around my head. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be on the whole time I'm here tonight. I just saw a black spot move through the bushes up in there. There's a bunch of spruces, and I just saw a black spot move through an opening, and so I got the cameras turned on and got everything ready, and then, boy, he gave me a broadside shot, and I drew, and then he was just slightly quartering towards me when I shot. But the weird thing is, when he crashed off, it sounded like he ran for a really short distance, and then I didn't hear anything. So I don't know if he ran for like 20, 30 yards and then walked, which they sometimes do, or if he fell right there. But the thing to do right now, 8:26, so I got a little less than an hour of legal shooting light left. I'm going to go look at the arrow, and from where the arrow is, I can see up under those spruces and I might be able to see something. So that's what I'm going to do, and we'll see what happens here. So I looked at the shot, reviewed the footage on the camera, and it's a pretty small screen, but the shot actually looked a little bit lower than I was aiming, maybe 4 inches lower than I was aiming, and pretty low on the body. Okay, this literally cannot get any crazier. It was a clean miss. There's not a speck of blood on the arrow. From end to end, there's no blood on the arrow. And look at the knock. It is pushed all the way down inside the arrow. They sent me a bunch of them to try, and I've been using them, and I've killed some deer and bear with them. But this hunt, they just are bonkers. It's literally pushed all the way, I don't know if you can see that. It's literally pushed all the way down inside the arrow shaft. Now, I don't think that bear's coming back. Maybe a different will come in. I got 45 minutes left. That is... Sometimes you think maybe things just weren't meant to be. That's how it ends right there. End of legal shooting light with a 300-pound bear in front of me. And he just never turned quite broadside enough. Unreal. I gotta figure out how to get out of here. There's another bear off to my left, too. Well, does that look familiar? I'm telling you, it's never ending. Seems like it's 4 o'clock right now, and I didn't see any bears till 6 o'clock last night, and this rain is supposed to continue steady for the rest of the day and through the night. But I got rain gear, and I'm going to go in there and check it out and sit there for the rest of the evening. Tonight, the end of legal shooting light is 9:20. And with this heavy overcast, I'd be surprised if you can get much past 9 o'clock for good light. And, you know, bears don't move much in the rain, but we're going to go in there and grind it out, because there's still multiple big bears on this bait. And I saw a bear that I thought was a chocolate, but I didn't have any daylight pictures of him early on, like a week ago. And then I just ran in there, snuck in, got the card, and I was kind of giving up on thinking that there was something other than black in there. I thought I must be just seeing things, because, you know, when you got black flash camera, you can't tell what color it is. It's just either black or it looks like it's not black. Well, I went in there and got the card, brought it out, and just put it in my laptop, and there is a black one and a non-black one in the same picture at the same time. So now I know for sure that there is a color phase bear on this bait, but I have exactly 0 daylight pictures of him in 11 days of having this bait out. So 2 days in a row, I had to sneak out of the stand with a shooter bear on the bait. And that's a great big honking sow in there, and I spooked her off the night before last, and then last night I had a 300+ pound bear on the bait and had to crawl down and spook him off the bait. Really, really frustrating what's happened here with the arrows and the nocks and all of the crazy stuff. When I shot last night, the shot felt good, and it looked like the arrow just kind of went low, which it looked weird to me. And it wasn't until I got back and reviewed the footage that it was really clear that the arrow just dived, and it, instead of, 16 yards, it should be almost perfectly straight. This arrow just dived at the last minute, and that's why it looked like I had a good hit on the bear, till all of a sudden I went down there and saw that the nock was completely pushed up into the arrow shaft, and there was no blood on the arrow. And then I went back, and where I could look at the footage on a computer rather than on that little bitty screen on the camera, well, then it was pretty obvious that it was just a clean miss. And then I had that great big one. He was there for 25 minutes. A couple times he turned just enough that I would have had a pretty good shot. It was a little bit quartering towards me, but normally I would be like, I can thread an arrow right in there. But after you picked a broadhead out of the dirt for 2 days in a row, it's pretty hard to have confidence in your ability to make a really specific, tight shot. And so I did not take the shot, and then I had to spook him off the bait. Well, I got a surprise for you today, because I've decided to do something completely different. Jason shot his bear last night, real nice bear, 240 pounds, with the crossbow made by Gearhead Archery Company. And Skip Peterson is the owner of Gearhead Archery. He's hunting with us, and he offered me, he said, would you like to take this crossbow in there since you're having so much trouble, arrows and nocks and stuff? And I'm like, I would love to just take this bow home and throw these nocks away and start over with new lighted nocks. So he's like, well, let me show you how to use this crossbow. So I'll just roll that right now.
All right, so this is the X16 crossbow. It's a target version. We also make a tactical one that splits in half. It's much easier to pack. But we can put 3 different rests on here. This one just happens to have a whisker biscuit on it. You can also put a Bowdoodle, and then there's another brand we can put on there too. You can paper tune this crossbow, so I can move my rests left to right, up and down, type of a thing. But what we did is, on traditional crossbows, they run the cock feather down, and when they do that, you have to push your cables down for clearance, where we brought the whole system higher with the cock feather up. Okay. And if you look at the strength of your cables, there's not a lot of pressure on that, so you get better cable life and string wear with that. And then to cock it, you can use your hands, you can rope cock it. There's also another option, we can use a crank cock on there. But we designed it where it's just got a really nice draw cycle to draw it back. You can just kind of lift this back and just cock it, like so. And now that even though it's cocked, there's still not pressure on your crossover cables. And then they put a crazy scope on here. This is unreal. This scope is amazing. I'm going to be putting it on more crossbows, but it records, they say in 4K, and it's 3 to 15 power, or 3 to 14 power, and it's all digitized. So there's 2 different focus things. You focus your eyepiece, then you focus what you're aiming at. This is just a sun thing, so it's really not as long as it looks. This is just to kind of keep the sun the way it is. And then this rotates for your eye, so you can kind of...
I can use that with my glasses.
Yeah, you can kind of get right in it and just kind of, see what it is. But that's kind of how it is, how it shoots, and it shoots 375 feet per second. I know it's not one of the fastest ones on the market, but I'd rather shoot a little slower and have no problems than to shoot something fast and have to replace things and just you're worried about limbs breaking and things like that. So that's kind of what we did on that. So you want to try it?
Let's go shoot it.
Okay.
And then, as you can see, I went out and practiced a few shots with it and felt pretty confident in it. And the scope that's on this thing's crazy cool. It has got, it's really good low light, but it's also got night vision, which I won't need, of course, but it videos in 1080p, so I'll be able to video a shot with the actual scope, and that's pretty cool. So anyway, I have got this crossbow with me tonight, and that's what I'm planning to hunt with, and I'm going to be taking it in there and sitting in the rain until a bear comes or until it gets dark in 5.5 hours. So wish me luck, I guess. Well, what do you know? It's raining this morning. Surprise, surprise. So I am on my way out to pull stands and cameras and head for home. Last night was just absolutely brutal. It was just a steady drone of rain for 4 hours, and then the wind came up, and I was sitting there just having, it's just horrible. And I kept staying because I kept telling myself, hey, what are you going to feel like if you leave early and then the bears come in 10 minutes after you leave, and you check the card tomorrow and find out that you missed your opportunity? Well, I got to the point where I just didn't care, and so I got out about 45 minutes early, and then when I was about, 10 miles down the road to where the other guys were hunting, found out they were out too already, so that made me feel a little better. But I'm going to pull everything out of the woods today and head for home this afternoon. I'm going to try to get this all done in 4 or 5 hours and then hopefully be home before dark. But the good news is there's still a chance because my tag is good through the end of the spring season. I think it's actually good in the fall too, I'm not sure, but the spring season still goes on here for another month, and there's a chance I might be able to get back up here. My schedule's pretty full, but haven't completely given up on that. Well, we do have Jason's hunt that I'm going to be showing you, and it was an interesting shot that he made, and we analyzed the wound channel on the bear, and Brian took the lungs out and showed everything exactly where the bear was hit. And it's pretty cool because you would look at that shot and not think that it was a double lung shot because it was pretty high and a little bit back, but he actually nicked one lung and got the other one really good. The bear only went 40 yards. We're going to see all that in another video, and then you're actually going to see where they took the lungs out and showed exactly where the arrow path went. But here at the end of this video, I think I'm just going to roll some photos and trail camera videos, and so you can just enjoy them. I got a lot of good trail camera photos and videos of bears, and it's pretty interesting. Maybe I'll put a little music with it or something for you just so you can enjoy watching it, and that's how we'll close this out. So I really want to thank you for watching these videos, for hitting a like and leaving a comment. It really does help grow the channel. It means a lot to me. So it's pretty bizarre that I had all the shots that I did and the opportunities, and I'm going home without a bear. I can hardly believe it, but some hunts are just like that, so whatever, I guess. But we will see you on the next video.